We welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. Ricky Batalico, I'm Michael Barkan. In a moment, John Kruk or Tommy, McCarthy. I don't know. We'll see.
Whoever feels like doing it, apparently.
Exactly right. Here's the thing: 11-0 Phillies. That's well and good. The question is, are we seeing the real Phillies here? And you'd have to say, over 31 games, Ricky Bo, they're 22-9 over the last 31 games. It's almost 20% of a season. That's not nothing. 709 winning percentage. And you put that, extrapolate it over 162 games, 115 wins. I know, they're not a 115-win team. I get that. But what portion of 709 winning percentage is this team? They're doing it without Bryce Harper. They're doing it without Gene Segura.
Number one, you have to stop thinking about doing it without Bryce Harper, because that's not the way the players are thinking. The players are going into these games thinking we just have to win this game. We have to do what we can do, the guys that are here. Because if you're playing a ball game and you're thinking about somebody that's injured and not even out there, that's a problem. You have to be able to put your focus mainly on the game that you're playing at that point. And when you look at the lineup, this lineup tonight, the 3 through 6 hitters, 8 for 15 with 9 RBIs. That's what you want to see from the middle of your order. You want them to do some damage. That's exactly what happened in this game. And quite frankly, I mean, you heard Schwarber. They know these two guys are out, but you notice he groups them together. He doesn't say Harper's out. He said Harper and Segura are out. Those are two big guys in their lineup. They're just going out and playing baseball. But what they've learned over the last week or so is they learned that they could win without him. And that's a bottom line. When you really think about it, when you know you have to go out there without somebody for 50 games, you better know that you could win.
Absolutely. That was the attitude that John Kruk had. Let's go. Is it John Kruk or is it Tom McCarthy Jr.? I don't know which. Who's across the street now? Let's see who we have.
Dun.
Oh, it's John. Okay, John. I'm sorry to do it to you, John. We know you secretly love it, but okay. Glad you're with us. Let me ask you a question about what we saw from Kyle Schwarber. You just talked to the guy. And he said, I never liked being the leadoff guy, or I wasn't good at being the leadoff guy, but you could have fooled us. What does that say about him as a player, John?
Well, I would assume that in high school and in college, he probably wasn't looked at as, a table setter. He was the table cleaner. But you know what it says about him? It says that whatever's best for the team, I'll do it.
He had an interview with John Clark last week, and he basically said, I just want to go out there and make contact. I just want to put the barrel to the baseball, and that's it. That sounds very much like old school type baseball to me. Is that what Rob Thomson has added to this team? And it's almost like they're playing the game, not the computer now.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun since Rob's taken over as far as got situational hitting with the players, moving guys. But, when you start winning games, you pick each other up. And you saw it tonight. Reese strikes out with the bases loaded. Castellanos comes up with a big hit to drive in 2 runs. They picked each other up, in this game today. When one guy didn't do well, the other guy picked him up. As far as Schwarber goes, though, when you watch him hit, like the ball he hit to center field, there was no launch angle swing. The ball he hit the right field up in the second deck, there was no really launch angle swing. It's just a nice level swing. And he understands how big and strong he is. He doesn't need to swing 100% max effort like a lot of guys do to try to hit a ball out of the ballpark.
He did try it in his third at-bat.
He did with the bases loaded. He did. He took a shot at it, and it didn't quite work. But he had the bases loaded. He was trying he was going to have a great night anyway. He was trying for the greatest night. But that happens when you got a lead. Sometimes you take a shot like a knockout blow, and that at bat didn't work out for him. But you look at his first home run. He hit the center. What did he hit it? 410 feet, maybe 405 feet, and then he hits one 400. They all count the same. And to him, it just seems like you said, if he puts a nice level swing, a nice easy swing, and hits the ball off the barrel, there's a good chance it's going to go over the fence. And that's just how strong he is and just how much bat speed he possesses with the nice controlled swing. And we got to watch him when he was with the Cubs a lot. We got to watch him throughout his career. But when you get to watch him every day, you get more impressed with him. The fact that, he grinds out at bats. He doesn't, he'll overswing every once in a while to try to do some damage, but for the most part, he gets right back to where, he was with that nice, easy swing. And, I really believe, and this is what I love about him, just reading things that he has said about hitting, he doesn't think a lot up there. He steps in the box. He's got all the info. It's like I said, I tell these kids when I coach them in softball and baseball, you get all the info in the on-deck circle. When you step in that batter's box, you better forget every bit of it and dumb it down. And then, just see it and hit it. And that's what I think that's what Kyle does. He has an idea how they're going to pitch to him, but, after he steps in the box, it's just see it and hit it.
John, I asked at the beginning of the program, is this the real Phillies that we have been watching? Because you're looking at the record after 81 games, halfway through, they're 43-38. That's a .530 winning percentage, or a .530 winning average, if you will. But the last 31 games, the last 30 now with Rob Thomson, 22-9 over the last 31. That's a .709 winning percentage. I get it, they're not going to play like that the rest of the way. But how closely do you think they can approximate that?
Well, I think this is the way they're playing right now under Rob Thomson is the way we expected them to play from the start. Score a bunch of runs, play good defense up the middle. They got that today with Stott made a couple really good plays. Moniak made a great play up the middle. Did JT throw someone out stealing again, I think?
No, somebody was. I think Robles actually stole a base.
Robles was say, but, you look at what Stott did. You look at what Moniak did, saving runs with their gloves. We thought the defense was going to be shaky. The defense hasn't been that bad. But this team offensively, even without Bryce and even without Gene and even without Didi, this is about what we thought this offense would be, and how much better is it going to be when those guys get back in the lineup? It's going to be a lot of fun if those guys come back and produce, which you would assume they would because they're such good players. That it's good. I equate it to the Mets getting Scherzer and DeGrom back. Mm-hmm. They're getting two studs. Well, when we get Bryce back and we get Gene back, we're getting two of the better hitters that we'll see. As far as situational hitting with Gene, as far as the all-around hitter that Bryce is. So, we're going to get, everyone says, well, the trade deadline. And yes, the trade deadline could be important for the Phillies if they need a pitcher, if some of their starters don't get healthy. But if, you're going to get Bryce back and Gene back eventually, that's two pretty good pickups coming into August.
It sure is. John, thanks so much. Glad you're back in the booth. Always great to see you. We'll see you tomorrow. John Kruk joining us from the booth at Citizens Bank Park. Take a look at the lineup, and what a night it had. 11-0 over Washington.
I want to make a point here. When Schwarber started that, I guess, barrage of home runs in June, doesn't that kind of coincide with when the rest of the offense started more or less relaxing? And I'm not saying after his first or second one, but once they knew that he could be the power guy in the lineup, it almost seems like everybody kind of took a step back and kind of relaxed and said, wait a minute, we don't have to do this. We just get on base and pass the baton, let the next person do it. And then the home runs will come. I think that's something that in baseball you have to understand, that you don't go up there and say, I'm going to hit a home run and it happens. I mean, it may every once in a while, the Babe Ruth thing and stuff like that. But for the most part, you're looking for a mistake from the pitcher and putting a perfect swing on it. So I love the way Schwarber goes into a game now, that I just want to see the ball and I want to barrel that sucker. And he wants to hit it a long way. That's the bottom line.
Guess what? The St. Louis Cardinals have gone down to the Atlanta Braves. That means as we look at our wild card standings up to the moment, if the season ended right now, your fighting Phillies would be a wild card team by virtue of head-to-head against St. Louis. The playoffs don't start now. They don't start for 3 months or so. But Ricky Bo, I'd rather see that than the reverse, than that the Phillies were below that dotted line.
It's a lot better than the location they were in about, 3 weeks ago. So the team has turned it around. They have found themselves out. They have fired their manager. They have brought in Rob Thomson. Rob has done a nice job with this ball club so far. They're headed in the right direction. That's as far as I'm going with this.
I know, which is fine. I hear you, and I agree with you. And here is Rob Thomson post-game.
I know there's 81 to go, but
Yeah.
what would that mean? But just to be there after the hill you guys have climbed.
Well, that's always been the goal. you know. But we do have a long way to go, and it's really one game, one series at a time, and just got to keep going. Yeah.
So you don't peek at standings and things?
Yeah, I look at the scoreboard during spring training to see what everybody else is doing, but you know, I also realize that there's a long way to go.
Did you think about sending Sanchez back out there for the sixth?
No, because this is the first time all year he's gone into the fifth. So it wasn't about pitch count. It was just about the up and down. So kept it right there. Did a great job. He leaves the ballpark feeling really good about himself and, you know, get ready for his next start.
There's no injury or anything?
No. No.
What do you like about the way he attacked the hitters tonight?
Well, you know, what I really liked was he got behind some hitters at times, but then he came right back and got back in the zone. He got some soft contact when he needed it. You know, it looked like he was having a little trouble with the feel of a changeup at times, but I thought he did a great job. He's got great poise, real calm out there.
I know we've talked a lot about Schwarber over the past month, but he's got 25 homers halfway through the season.
Yeah.
What's been, how much fun has he been to watch, I guess you could say, over the last...
A lot of fun, you know, because he seems like he's right in the middle of everything. Every time we score a run, he seems like he's right around there, you know, and doing something, either getting on base or slugging, and Reese is the same way. So, yeah, those two guys have really turned it on, and now it looks like, you know, JT's coming, Cassie's getting some hits, the bottom of the lineup's doing a great job. So, you know, it's pretty good offense right now.
When you get an outing like tonight from Sanchez, and you've gotten a few good ones from Falter, does that make you kind of feel better about what you have behind the starting five? You know, you're
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And again, hats off to player development. They've done a great job with these guys, and not only the pitchers but the position players. Every time they come up, all these guys are ready to play. They go about their business the right way. They're real pros, and they play hard, and they play the game the right way. So it's pretty good.